Hey guys, so not long ago I created a screencast to demo how to deploy mariadb on Kubernetes via TripleO. This is part of the work that we've been doing to migrate all the bare metal deployments in TripleO to Kubernetes, or rather to containers. And so for the Pike release, everything came out on Docker command, and this is the looking forward content or work that we're doing to finally migrate everything to Kubernetes. Anyway, so that screencast had no audio. That was on purpose. I didn't have much to say there. But in this case, I do have a couple of other things that I would like to demo and show. A couple of other services like Keystone and Glance and endpoints registering and all that. So anyway, so what do we have here? We have, this is a virtual machine on RDO Cloud. And what we have here is we have these undercloud containers repo, which doesn't do much, to be honest. Like we could even do away with it, but I like to use it because it helps me. It automatically, I mean, it installs a couple of other things that I like to have, like Teammate and a couple of other packages like Python hit template, hit agent. Like we don't need most of those, but anyway, I like to run it because it also allows me to get the latest and greatest from TripleO hit templates. And as you can see here, we are in this line here. We are the last line at bottom. We are cloning TripleO hit templates from my fork on GitHub, and specifically we're cloning the tht-apvs branch, which is where I've been pushing all my changes for this work. Anyway, well, so if you want to get this code and run the do it script that I just showed, you can do it. Otherwise, you can just follow the steps, install the things that you really need, and that's it, and be done with it. So what else do we have? We have Docker running, and in Docker we have OpenShift, get pods. We don't have any pods. Get service. We have a RabbitMQ service, which I was playing with. Let service RabbitMQ. And we can do this one here. All right, so everything is clean. Add services. All right. Okay. Config maps. That's it. There's nothing there. So what else do we have that we really need? We have the TripleO APVs repo, which is where the things that we really need are. So this TripleO APV repo, you can get it from here. I'll be writing a blog post with most of these links and descriptions, but anyway, just in case you want to do it right away while watching this video, you can download it from here. And there are a bunch of submodels in this repo, so you might want to use recursive when you're cloning the repo. So the services we want are the Glance APV, the Keystone APV, and the mariadb APV. And as you can see, they share a folder structure. They all have a set of playbooks, they all have a set of roles, and the apv.yaml file and the Docker file. But what's really important here are the roles, which are the submodules that we have here. So for some services they are simpler, for other services they are a little bit more complex. So the provision task is what we execute when we're going to deploy mariadb. So I'll let you go through this on the repo. I'm not going to go into deep details here. So for now we're just gonna well, one other thing that you want to know is that we have created images for each of these services. We have the TripleO, Keystone Glance, the TripleO, the TripleO. Sorry, did I say Keystone? It's TripleO Kubernetes Glance, and then we have the TripleO Kubernetes Keystone and the TripleO Kubernetes mariadb. And the way you get those images is by getting into TripleO app's repo and run and build the build script and the name of the service. It's very simple, and then you have to tag it as TripleO upstream / TripleO Kubernetes Glance. The reason we do this is because that is the name of the image I'm using in the TripleO template. So anyway, to run this and to deploy everything, you have this run.sh script, which is created by the doit.sh script that I showed at the very beginning of the screencast. And the deploy command is actually very simple. Again, like we don't need most of the things that there are in this command here. Most of those parameters we really don't need, but I left in there because I want to show that we can reuse the same commands that we have, and we can reuse the same TripleO hit templates as well, most of the same TripleO hit templates really, because we do have to change a couple of things, but we can use most of the things as they are without changing, without like specific customizations. So I'm gonna run this, and while it is running, I will explain a couple of other things from the TripleO hit templates. Let's make sure it is running. So there we have the hit all migrations. It's parsing all the templates. It's deploying the template, and we should see the hit logs or output in a second, and there they are. All right, let's let it run for a bit. Let's switch. Here you can see we have the hit all container which is running, and that is the thing that is deploying the services on Kubernetes. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to another terminal, and so here I want to show you the changes I've actually done. Well, you can see my very extensive comment messages. So if we go to the Docker services there, you can see we have all the services that there are, and I've modified a couple of them. I've modified the Glance API one, the Keystone one, and the mariadb one. Just gonna go through the Glance one because it is close to my heart. And so let's see. Actually, let me open this with him so we get some colors. There we go. All right. So what have we done here? What I've changed is basically this section here, the app's underscore config section is new, and what it does something very similar to the Docker config section, or the cola config, actually the cola config section, which is it gets this data and dumps it on disk, and will eventually during the provisioning command will pass this data to the command, which is basically Ansible variables. Note that there are some comments here that we should really find a better way to log into Kubernetes or OpenShift. This is a ongoing research thing that we're trying to fix. So don't pay too much attention on why we have these CLI host or config files here and whether we need them or not. They're there for now, and we're looking for a way to get rid of those. So this section is new. You can see that I've not modified any of the config settings or step configs or puppet config. Those are all still the same, and we still use them to some extent. What we really use is not the puppet config thing, but the hide data that is written on disk. So the real change is here in the Docker config section. You can see we have now a single container. We don't have multiple containers anymore, creating the database or initializing the database or synchronizing the database or registering the endpoints or anything like that. We have a single container, which is called Glance. It uses the TripleO Kubernetes Glance image that I just mentioned. I'm still using NetHost and privileged, actually user root. I don't think we need those, but I left them there for now. Well, I tried to get this whole thing working and going. The command is different. What we're doing here is when we run this APB, the TripleO Kubernetes Glance APB, we need to pass we need to tell it the action that we want to execute. In this case, it's provision, and -e, and this path here it's just Ansible stuff. It's basically we're telling it to get these extra bars, to set these extra bars from this file here. So this file here, called keystone.yaml, is actually wrong. It should be glance.yaml, and it reads it from the file that we've written here in the APB's config. So the APB's config section, it creates a file called glance based on this key in this path here, varlib TripleO config APBs. So we pass this file to the Docker config and to the APB container, and that is all passed straight to Ansible. What else do we need to see here? The environment variables. We are setting these environment variables, and again, we're working on getting rid of these. This is something that is built in the APB, but we don't really need it. And as you can tell, all these APBs are called TripleO Kubernetes Glance and TripleO Kubernetes something. So we don't really need OpenShift, but this is something that was built in the APB base image, and we're working on getting rid of that. So don't look into it just yet. So we do mount a couple of new paths for now, and we'll be able to get rid of most of these mounts. But let's see. If we open our containers, what's the name here? Containers common. We can see the list of mounts, and these two new paths here are the ones that we're mounting. TNP cube is a directory that contains the kube config file, the Kubernetes config file, and again, trying to get rid of this. Hopefully we won't need to pass any config file to the execution, but it is there for now. And there's varlib TripleO config APBs, which is where the APB, the Ansible extra vars file is written to. Anyway, that is pretty much everything I've changed from TripleO hit templates. You can see the same in the MySQL file. See a whole bunch of things are commented out, and you can see there's an APB section, and the password is weak password because it's the strongest password ever. And anyway, well, you can see all this code from my fork. Now let's see how the deployment is going. I see a whole bunch of new containers. All right, so we have the deployment here. It should be done. If we clean here, we do, let's see, get pods. We see all the pods, and these are, you can see some of the pods say completed. That's because those are jobs, Kubernetes jobs, and that's how we basically run some of the provisioning tasks. So we see the Keystone Fernet, the Keystone DB Sync, the Keystone Bootstrap, the Glance Keystone, which registers the Glance endpoints in Keystone, and the Glance DB Sync, which of course creates a database. You can see the services here. We have Glance, Keystone, mariadb, and again, show the pods. We can get stateful set, which is the mariadb stateful set, and well, we have pretty much everything. Now I've created a cloud an OpenStack clouds.yaml file to query my newly deployed cluster. You can see the auth URL says keystone colon 5000. So we're using the DNS, and the name of the host is the name of the service. So keystone. And to resolve that, I've modified my DNS. I already had these. I didn't do it in the screencast, but I already had it configured. I'm using my Kubernetes, or in this case OpenShift clusters DNS, as my main DNS to resolve all the IP addresses. All right, now on to more exciting things. Let's try to query this thing. It failed. Oh, that's because I sourced the stack RC file. We don't really need that. Let's just go to another window. Let's see. Let's use our clouds.yaml file instead, and there they are. We can see all the endpoints. We can query the Glance service, and we don't really have images there. We could upload one, but the screencast is already too long, so I'll leave you to it and give you back your time. Thanks for watching this far, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. And expect a blog post coming out soon enough. Thanks a lot.